I guess just starting with Tyler, just kind of, again, just how the summer went and just kind of seeing him kind of progress. Just you speak on how Tyler's progression went.
He's doing extremely well. I mean, the kid is a hard worker. He's leaned down. If you look at him, his body composition has changed. He looks, like I said, trim, slimmer. He's more mobile. And arm strength is really there. He's got him strong. He's got him stronger. But he's just a student of the game. So he's been doing a lot of things in the off season that we've talked about, what we need to get better at is understanding and just being able to know exactly where we're going with the football, where everybody's going to be at, anticipating throws and being able to go through the progression as fast as you can. Because obviously we don't have a lot of time back there in the pocket, but he does a great job. The game goes very slow for him, so he sees things very good. And we're happy with his progression. He's gotten a lot better in those things there. But the biggest surprise and understand is just watching him grasp this offense in such a short period of time. It's been very fascinating to see that happen.
You touched on his skill set, some of the things he brings to the table, but how does it mesh kind of in your vision, how does it mesh into the offense that you guys want to put out there? How does it all work for him ideally?
It's great. It's great. We ask a lot from our quarterback and changing it if he has to change the protection. Be able to understand where he's going, where his hot read, if there's some type of pressure coming, so he understands that as well. It's not a very complicated game, and he's just very smart and sees it, and he sees it fast, and sees it early, and he knows again where he's going with the football. It's the biggest thing. I always thought that quarterbacks makes a great quarterback great, and opposed to from the great to good is understanding where they're going with the football.
And with that, and he's a guy that has some experience, do you feel comfortable that he can make changes at the line? Or is it, some coaches want to see how things go, or maybe you'll play it out, or how do you kind of foresee that, him to be able to make checks and kind of have some things under his control? What's your take on that?
No reservations whatsoever. He's really a coach on the football field. And you tell him things for him, he understands it, and he's ready to move forward with it, and understanding when he needs to do it, when he doesn't need to do it, and he's always asking questions. That's the biggest thing for him, is always understanding what he needs to do for the success of the football team, and for us to be successful in offense. And he knows a lot of relies on him, and he embraces that. He embraces that, and he studies a lot, and he's ready to go with it.
What's your assessment of him, how he evaluates film, either himself, opponents, just how he processes the film study part of kind of breaking everything down?
Student of the game. It's the best way I can say it to you. He's a student of the game. He's always watching film, always asking questions, and he'll watch film, and he'll come back and mention something that you can only have noticed had you watched a lot of film. So those things there are, as a coach, you see that from your quarterback, and definitely that's something that you feel good about. You can sleep good at night because your quarterback is doing the homework that he needs to be doing, and he wants to be really good. He wants to do really well, and just like everyone else, Jake, Jacurri, all those guys, and Jaden and Peyton, all those kids are very good kids, and all students of the game. They're all trying to understand the offense, because you never know. As you know, in this game, you have to be ready. You have to prepare yourself if you were the starter, and because you never know when your number can be called.
And transitioning into Jake, again, things you kind of saw from the spring and kind of continued to work on, and I assume you just keep putting that message in his head. You don't know when, your opportunity for him to continue to work. But what have you seen from Jake and his progression?
He's done a great job. He obviously got through the injury, and he's put on 10, 15 pounds of muscle now. So he's got a little bit more juice in his throwing. So he's but throughout the spring, you see the big improvement of understanding the offense and being able to go through his progression at a very rapid pace. And I think that's the one thing that he lacked at the beginning of spring ball. But towards the end of spring ball, you saw understanding where he needed to go and be able to release the football a lot quicker than he was doing it at the beginning of spring. So that's a big improvement for him.
Throwing the ball on the run, it's all important, but it seems like in your offense, just watching out here, it's certainly important to be able to do that.
Yes.
How has he kind of progressed with that and in that particular area of his game, and it's obviously important for you guys?
That's something that we preach and practice every single day. We're big believers. If you do something every single day, you'll be good at it. So we're going to continue to throw on the run. We have drills that we do every single day for them, and they've seen the improvement, and they feel comfortable now. So it's just no different than you practice dropping back in the pocket and be able to throw from the pocket. You got to practice throwing on the run as well, because we have a lot of movement drills for them, a lot of movement plays where we're getting them out of the pocket, so we have to be able to do those things.
And then with Jacurri, he talked to us in the spring. He seemed to have a pretty good understanding of where his place is on the team and his approach to this upcoming year. What's something to continue to talk to him, making sure he stays locked in, and if he's not playing, if he's not out there, it's not a wasted year. Dealing with him as a coach, kind of where his role is right now.
Well, he's very competitive, so he's going to continue to compete for a job. He understands that when I'm not in there, I'm also getting reps mentally, and it's just making every rep count, making every second, every minute of practice be valuable to you. Don't miss a rep mentally. You're going to have your opportunity to go in there and execute there physically, but mentally is where you want to start understanding what you need to do. So those are things that he's getting better at. Obviously, he's young. He's still learning a lot at this level for this game, in the college game. So he's understanding the patience in the pocket and not to start running so early at times, because he's such a freak of an athlete that's all he wants to do at times, but he's starting to understand and settle down and stay in the pocket, and that's something that he's really focused on.
Is that Jacurri? Who are you talking about?
JB, yeah, Jacurri.
Oh, I had a feeling it wasn't. Hi, Susan.
Susan, how you doing?
Yeah. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Am I interrupting you?
No.
Okay. Okay, so just that's what. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Jacurri. How about Jake?
Jake.
How is it for him knowing that? Knowing that Tyler's a guy. I mean, coming in and knowing what a talent he is.
Right.
If you're him, you're a really good talent. But this guy's a guy.
Right.
Did you talk to him about that, or what's his attitude like, and what's his game? How is his game? Just stuff on Jake too.
Right. So the number one thing we tell our guys is you always prepare as if you were the starter. Because you never know what can happen when your number is called and you have to go in a football game. So he understands that. So that's number one. Number two is he's very competitive. We're always competing. We never say anyone is solidified their position. And you are where you're at right now from the spring, but we have fall camp that you're able to compete and still either earn a higher spot, promote yourself, or demote yourself. It could go either way. So you got to continue to work hard and compete. So he understands that. That's part of the game. He understands that as a quarterback, that's part of the job. Is you're going to have to compete with other guys.